72 hours. That's all the time Vanessa Hartwell, the HOA boss lady, gave me to leave the house I just bought. I was 23 years old, owned my home for only 2 days when she marched up to my door with papers to kick me out and a mean smile on her face. "Ethan Marshall," she said sharply, knowing exactly who I was. I nodded and acted confused, my heart beating fast. Not because I was scared, but because I was excited about a trap I'd been planning for 5 years. Vanessa started listing all my rule-breaking like a mean teacher reading off bad grades. My grass was 2.6 inches tall instead of 2.5 inches. My door was painted the wrong shade of blue. My car was parked at exactly 3 degrees from the curb. 47 rule breaks, each one sillier than the last, all done by me on purpose to trick her into coming over. She had no idea she'd just walked into a trap I'd built with lots of patience and anger. I'd turned on the recorder in my pocket 30 seconds before opening the door, and the security camera above caught everything she did in super clear video. The morning sun lit up her face like a spotlight on the bad guy in a movie. Years ago, Vanessa had done this exact same thing to my grandfather Henry Marshall, breaking his heart with the same mean tricks. I could still hear his shaky voice on that last phone call, see how beaten down he looked in the hospital. She picked on him, an old man with a bad heart, and within days he was gone. His home stolen, his spirit crushed. Now standing in my doorway at 1245 Oak Lane, Vanessa smiled that nasty smile. Her fancy business suit was perfect, her lips puckered like she'd eaten something sour. 2 big tough guys stood next to her, their security badges looking cheap and fake like Halloween costumes. "New rules, honey," she said in a sweet but mean voice, handing me a stack of papers passed last week at an emergency meeting. No one under 55 can own a house in Pinewood Grove. My heart raced, not from being scared, but from trying to hide how excited I was. I acted confused and said, "But I just bought this house. I read all the rules and there weren't any age limits." Her smile got bigger, her teeth unnaturally white. "Emergency changes, sweetie. Better start packing." I'd set everything up perfectly. The grass measured with a ruler, the door painted last night, the car angled with a tool to make her mad. Across the street, my elderly neighbor Mabel Thompson watched, shaking her head, thinking she'd seen this sad story before. Vanessa announced, "I'm the boss here, Ethan. 72 hours or I start taking you to court. You don't want to fight me in court." Her tough guys cracked their knuckles to scare me. I slumped my shoulders, acting like a sad, beaten kid, and asked, "Can I get this in writing?" She shoved the papers at me, bragging and not knowing the camera was catching her face, the papers, and her hired bullies. As she walked away, her high heels clicked like a bomb counting down. I whispered, "Are you sure you want to do this?" A tiny bit of doubt flashed in her eyes. My calm voice didn't match what she expected, but Vanessa, who'd been running this scam for 8 years, laughed. "Honey, I've crushed more people than you've ever met. Nobody beats me." Her car disappeared around the corner and I checked my phone. 20 messages from Jay, my helper, saying everything was ready. Fake buyers prepared, fake papers made, 3 years of secret work ready to blow up. I texted, "She took the bait just like you said." The reply buzzed back. "Good. 71 hours left, kid. Stick to the plan." I looked at Henry's photo on the wall, him smiling in front of this very house 5 years ago, before Vanessa destroyed him. "Game on," I said quietly. She thought she was the hunter, but I'd studied her for 60 months. Her greed, her mean attitude, her predictable moves. Tomorrow she'd get worse, sending security guards, then fake buyers, maybe even trying to break in. I'd figured out her playbook. Day 1, rule violations. Day 2, scary threats. Day 3, stealing the house. Every step was a crime I could prove, another nail in her coffin. At 6 a.m., lawnmowers roared to life, a whole army of them. Vanessa directed 10 landscapers across my lawn, chirping, "Morning, honey, just helping with rules. That'll be $500 on your bill later." I rubbed my eyes, acting shocked while thinking, "Another crime, Vanessa." The workers looked uncomfortable. One young guy, maybe 19, shook his head like he was sorry. He was caught in her trap like so many others. I remembered his face. He wouldn't get in trouble when this all came crashing down. You can't just come. On my property, I shouted loud enough for Mabel to hear. Vanessa waved a fake paper. Emergency maintenance rule, honey. Safety violations need action. No such rule existed, but she'd made fake papers for so long she believed her own lies. I called the police, letting her see. Officer Ramirez arrived fast. Too fast, like he'd been waiting nearby. What's the problem? He asked, looking at the workers breaking the law and Vanessa's smug face. He'd been parked 3 blocks away since 5:45, part of our 3-year trap. This kid won't take care of his property, she claimed. Ramirez, playing his part, said, "Ma'am, going on someone's property without permission is a crime." Her smile didn't fade. Check with your bosses, officer. She'd bribed cops before, I thought. She had Ramirez fooled. Ramirez nodded. A warning this time, Ms. Hartwell. Homeowners have rights. He winked at me, a signal that meant, not yet, we need more. He wrote down license plate numbers, letting her see, and a crack appeared in her confidence. By 10 crew, Phase 2 hit. A van from Apex Security rolled up. 5 rough-looking men walked onto my lawn with baseball bats in their hands. They looked at my mailbox and smashed it by accident. Oops, one grinned, showing gaps in his teeth. I ran out with my phone recording, yelling, "What are you doing?" "Security check," the leader growled. "Boss says this place is dangerous." They spray-painted my garage with sloppy writing, while 12 hidden cameras and microphones caught every move. These bullies were in the FBI computer. Leader Vince Carter had been arrested 3 times before. Now crossing state lines to scare people was a federal crime. Mabel stormed out in her house slippers, fierce as a lion. "Get off this property or I call the real police. My doorbell cameras got you, and my grandson's FBI." They laughed until she mentioned the FBI, then ran away, breaking my fence and throwing trash. I looked devastated while mentally listing each crime. Mabel patted my shoulder. "That woman's terrorized us for 8 years. Started with the Baker family, then the Lane family, then poor Henry Marshall. He carried my groceries, never asked for a dime. After she took his house, something died in him. 3 days later, he was gone." Her words hit like a punch, but I hid my connection to Henry. That night, Vanessa posted online, "Warning, squatter at 1245 Oak Lane. Do not help this illegal person." I took a screenshot and texted Ramirez. Lying about someone, check. Getting people to harass someone, check. How many crimes left? He replied, "She's small time to a jury. We need the big one." I knew what he meant. Day 3, fake buyers breaking into houses in the dark. I looked over 5 years of research, victim stories, fake papers, $12 million in stolen homes. "You did this to 20 families, Vanessa," I said quietly. "But Henry was the one you shouldn't have messed with." At midnight, cameras caught her sneaking around with a can of gasoline or paint. It didn't matter which. She tried to jimmy my back door. My special lock recorded the attempt. I texted Ramirez. "She's early, speeding things up." I waited, letting her think she was winning, a chess move setting up checkmate. At 7 a.m., a huge banner screamed across my lawn, "Get out or get sued." Vanessa stood proud as 20 buyers toured my home without permission. I stumbled out in pajamas, shouting, "This is my house, I own it!" She smirked, waving a master key. HOA emergency access, honey. Safety for the viewers. Her cockiness was choking, believing 8 years of stealing made her untouchable. The key failed. I'd changed the locks. At 2 a.m. Her confusion turned to rage as she jammed it, hand stuck. "This is my house! I bought it for $50,000 cash!" she screamed. A buyer, Agent Harper, stepped forward. "Ma'am, the signature looks like yours." Her face went red. She grabbed the papers, tearing them up. I whispered, "Thanks for destroying your own fake signature." Harper took pictures of the pieces while Mabel recorded, pretending to water plants. Neighbors live-streamed without knowing they were filming crimes. Vanessa, furious, threw my stuff around. Books, then Henry's $3,000 laptop, my 18th birthday gift. It smashed and real tears fell. 5 years of sadness burst free. Each piece is another year in prison, I thought. She laughed. Whoops, butterfingers. Should have moved out when I asked nicely. Drunk on power, she waved her fake ownership papers, yelling, 8 years and no one's beaten me. This house is mine. At noon, the buyers didn't budge, circling around her. One spoke into his sleeve, another flashed handcuffs. Sirens wailed, FBI vans, not local cops. I have police friends, Vanessa shrieked. I stood wiping tears, voice like steel. Sure about that, Vanessa? While you played your game, the FBI raided your office, your home, your whole network. Her eyes darted for escape routes that were gone. You're just a kid, she whispered. Not just a kid, I said. I'm Henry Marshall's grandson, and I've planned this for a woman with FBI stepped out. Vanessa Hartwell, I'm Special Agent Lauren Hartwell, your daughter. Vanessa's shock was electric. Lauren, what are you doing? Hi, Mom, Lauren said coldly. We're talking about what you did to Grandpa Henry. I've investigated you for 3 years, and when Ethan reached out, I made sure to end this. Neighbors gasped as agents showed their badges. Boxes from Vanessa's car held fake HOA letters, 8 years of crimes. Agent Harper read from files. Baker family 2019, Lane family 2020, Marshall family 2019. He paused. Note, old fool died fast. Bonus. Vanessa screamed at Ramirez. We had a deal. I paid you. He removed his cap, showing an FBI badge. Special Agent Miguel Ramirez. That bribes evidence now. Her empire crumbled. Landscapers, guards, even board. Members, all FBI. Her trunk held 212 folders, a catalog of ruined lives. Neighbors wept, recognizing their stories. Vanessa's notes scored evictions, bonuses for deaths. Henry's file read, Old fool, heart condition, perfect target, gone in a week, bonus if before weekend, I snapped. You knew about his heart condition? And targeted him. Agents held me back. He razed me. You killed him. Her face went pale. Marshall, you're his grandson. This was all a setup. This house is mine, I said. Henry left it to me in his will. You tried to steal it, but I've owned it for 5 years. Agents swarmed, raiding her network across 4 states. You set me up! A 23-year-old nobody, she spat. I'm Ethan Marshall, I said. Henry's grandson. Every violation, every crime, I planned it. I knew you'd measure the grass, bring bullies, try to break in. 47 times before you're predictable, Vanessa. She sat silent in the police car, finally understanding her mistake. As they drove off, I cried real tears for Henry, gone but avenged. Ramirez handed me a tissue. He'd be proud. She's got 45 years to rot. Monday at the Denver courthouse, 89 victims came, some in wheelchairs, others with walkers, to face Vanessa, now in orange with gray roots showing and fear in her eyes. Lauren opened. Your Honor, the defendant, my mother, stole my college fund 15 years ago, launching her HOA scheme. I'm here for the 312 families she crushed. Fake papers flashed on screens. Recordings played Vanessa's bragging. A surprise witness, Agent Harper, testified she scored evictions, bragged about targeting the weak. Old ones with heart conditions are easy, she said, like that Marshall fool. 3 days. The jury's faces hardened. Mabel testified. Henry faded after she took his home. He died holding Ethan's photo, begging me to care for his boy. She stole lives. After 47 minutes, the verdict. Guilty on 37 counts, fraud, blackmail, organized crime. The judge boomed. Vanessa Hartwell, you weaponized trust, preyed on the weak. 60 years, no parole, full payback. Vanessa collapsed, pleading. Lauren, I'm your mother. Lauren's reply was ice. Mothers protect, you destroy. I called out, Vanessa! Henry gave you 72 hours to take his home. He lived 72 hours after you killed him. Now you've got 60 years to think. 6 months later, Pinewood Grove thrived, renamed Henry Marshall Memorial Drive. As the youngest HOA president at 23, I demanded full resident agreement. Mabel, my vice president, said, "Henry's dancing in heaven. Sunday coffee with Henry's cinnamon. Rolls healed us." The martial law passed nationwide. 200 corrupt HOAs fell. $47 million returned to victims. My website hit 1 million visits, arming families against fraud. Henry's words became its motto. A community is only as strong as how it treats its most vulnerable. Vanessa in prison tried to plot HOA revenge. "Down in a day," she wrote. 47 apology. Letters, all unopened. I got a photo from her, young Henry by his first house. "I'm sorry," she wrote. I hung it, not for forgiveness, but closure. Evil always finds new forms, but every predator now knows a patient hunter waits. And Henry's grandson is watching.